Good morning. My name is Pam Traylor, and I'm an instructional coach for early childhood. Today, we're going to do a PD on behavior has meaning. Something to think about as we are going through this training. If you had to communicate without using words, would others be able to understand what you were trying to say? We deal with that on a daily basis with our preschoolers who can't quite communicate their wants and needs. Today, we are going to focus on how behavior has meaning. The Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework, or ELOF, provides language to help teachers, family child care providers, and home visitors understand child development and what children should know and be able to do. The ELOF guides the implementation of effective program and teaching practices that promote strong outcomes for all children, including children with disabilities or suspected delays, and children who are dual language learners or children who are learning a tribal language. Children's behaviors tie to multiple ELOF domains, including approaches to learning, social and emotional development, and language and communication. Children are born ready to interact with the social world around them. Adults are there to interpret behaviors and help children learn to communicate. In the preschool years, children are better able to manage their emotions. They can appropriately express emotions, use adults as a guide for intense emotions, and find coping strategies that work. Preschoolers also learn to express themselves with more detail and clarity. For dual language learners, if adults do not speak the children's home languages, the children may rely on behavior to express their thinking and feeling. If education staff do speak the child's home language, they can support children as they use language. It is also important to communicate with families to understand expectations for behavior at home and how their child expresses thoughts and feelings. Children benefit when families and education staff are on the same page regarding expectations for behaviors and share the same goals for children's development. The framework for effective teaching practice is known as the house. I'm sure many of you have seen this many times. The house represents 5 integral components of quality teaching and learning. The foundation, which is providing nurturing, responsive, and effective interactions and engaging environments for children. The first pillar, which is choosing and implementing research-based curriculum and teaching practices. The second pillar, which is using screening and ongoing assessment of children's skills. The roof, which is individualizing teaching and learning. And the center, which is engaging parents and families. When connected with one another, they form a single structure, the house framework, that surrounds the family in the center. As we implement each component of the house in partnership with parents and families, we foster children's learning and development. This PD helps us think about the foundation of the house. We explore how nurturing, responsive, and effective interactions help us understand the meaning behind children's behaviors. This PD also addresses the need to promote parent and family engagement. Engagement helps parents understand how to respond to their children's behavior. Giving children the opportunity to express themselves is one way to engage parents and families in children's learning, both in the home and in the learning environment. It is also important to learn families' cultural expectations for children's behavior and verbal expression. Talk with parents about the importance of understanding children's behaviors. Our objectives for today are to explain the importance of children's behavior as communication, analyze and interpret the meaning of children's behaviors, cover strategies that address children's behaviors, and build a supportive learning environment. Take a moment to think about these questions. What is the behavior? What do you believe about young children and their behavior? The main point here is that it is hard to define behavior. Behavior can look different across children and adults, and how we interpret and react to behavior is personal. We usually interpret behavior through the lens of our families, our values, cultures, beliefs, experiences, and our expectations. An important way to think about behavior is as a form of communication. Young children let us know their wants and needs through their behavior long before they have words. They give us cues to help us understand what they are trying to communicate. Education staff and parents can help preschoolers by interpreting their cues and responding to meet their needs. Let's look at these pictures of an infant, a toddler, and a preschooler. Think about what the children's behaviors may communicate. The infant is obviously crying and showing some distress. The infant might be saying, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm wet and need changed. I don't know how to settle myself. I'm in pain, or I want someone to hold me. The toddler might be saying, I want you to hold me. Shayna took my toy away. You just told me no, and I don't like that. I want to go outside right now. I'm crying because I really don't know what I am feeling. Or I want to play by myself right now. The preschooler might be saying, I don't want to stop playing with the blocks to read a book. I am so mad. I am so frustrated. This task is too hard. Pay attention to me. It is past lunchtime and I am tired and hungry. There are many reasons a child might use specific behaviors. This is why it is important for adults to carefully observe children, pay attention to their cues, get to know them, and know what part of the schedule gives them a hard time to better understand what they are trying to tell us through their behavior. Every communicative behavior can be described by its form and function. The form is the behavior. The function is the possible purpose of the behavior. What is the child trying to communicate? What is the meaning of the behavior? When did it occur? Here are some of the many ways young children communicate their wants and needs. Think about what this might look like for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. So some of the behaviors can come across through crying, kicking their legs, throwing a tantrum, smiling, clapping. And then we have functions of communication. Form and function are also shaped by culture. Children are socialized to express their feelings in culturally acceptable ways. It is important to talk with families so you can look for acceptable ways that children express themselves in a culturally respectful way. So some functions or reasons for the behaviors could be to initiate social interaction, seek sensory stimulation, escape activity, avoid a person, or express emotion. These pictures show Victoria, an older toddler, and her father at drop off and breakfast time. What might Victoria be saying to her father? Make sure to keep form and function in mind. Victoria comes to teacher Josenna's classroom after her peers have arrived and have started eating breakfast. There is a film crew with 3 people in the classroom today, and they have one video camera and a digital camera focused on the children at the breakfast table. Victoria clings to her father, turning her head to his shoulder and pulling his face close to her. Miss Josina attempts to distract Victoria and redirect her to breakfast and her peers. Victoria does not let go of her father. Miss Josina asks Victoria's father if he knows what might be upsetting her. He explains that she is often uneasy when there are adults around that she doesn't know. It takes her a little longer to warm up and feel secure. Does this information change any of your ideas that might have been in the speech bubbles? Let's look at the form or the behavior and the function, the purpose of Victoria's behavior. The form is pouting, talking to her father, pointing, and clinging. The possible function or reason behind those is she's saying, please don't leave yet. I don't feel comfortable with all these new people in my classroom. While Victoria might have had different reasons for wanting Dad to stay, it seems that wanting him to stay was the reason for her clinging behavior. She might have wanted Dad to stay because she was scared with the unfamiliar filming crew in their room. Additional information can help us better interpret the form and function of Victoria's behavior. As you have probably already experienced, it is not always easy to figure out the meaning of a child's behavior. To add to the complexity of understanding the meaning of behavior, a single form of behavior may serve more than one function. For example, a toddler might use biting, a form, for different functions. I want the toy you have. I want to play with you, but don't know how to let you know. I'm tired. I'm frustrated because you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. I want some attention. Those could all be reasons behind the behavior. Several forms of behavior may serve one function. For example, a child's purpose or their function may be to build with their favorite blocks, but they use different forms of behavior, like biting, yelling, grabbing, running away with the blocks, or even sharing, based on how they feel that day, who is playing in the block area, or based on the cultural expectations. The meaning of behavior is shaped by culture, family, and the unique makeup and experiences of the individual child. For example, some cultures may express sadness by crying or by having a nonchalant facial expression. Some cultures may express happiness by laughing and being exuberant, while others may expect more restrained behaviors. Understanding the possible meaning of children's behaviors helps build a supportive home and learning environment for preschoolers. Interpreting children's behaviors influences our interactions, helps us to build relationships with both children and families, and helps us intentionally plan or support families in their planning for routines and schedules to support children's needs and promote their learning. When adults try to understand children's behaviors, it helps children feel valued and important. They learn that adults will try to understand what they are communicating through their behavior. They feel competent and confident as communicators and learn to communicate their intentions, feelings, and emotions. When adults try to understand children's behavior, it helps adults build nurturing and responsive relationships with children, helps adults pause to try to determine what the child's behavior might be communicating instead of reacting to the behavior, helps adults determine what skills we need to teach children to communicate. Now let's take a second to look at a scenario. Mom has left 5-month-old baby Jenna in center care for the first time. It's been a rough 2 weeks so far for mom, baby, and the caregivers. When mom leaves, Jenna bursts into tears and screams. She only calms down when a teacher holds her. Whenever they need to put her down, she immediately starts crying. What might Jenna's behavior be telling us? What is the form or the behavior? Well, it's crying. And what might be the possible function or the reasoning behind the behavior? Well, Jenna might really miss her mom. The noise of this new setting might be too much for her, overstimulating. Home is quiet and soft lining, and no other baby sounds like crying. Jenna might miss the feeling of security when mom is there, and she can't quite get that safe feeling with these strangers yet. So, what can we do? Well, we can observe Jenna's behaviors before she gets upset. We can pause and reflect on what Jenna is trying to communicate. We can communicate with Jenna's parents about strategies used at home to soothe her. If we look at this example through Jenna's eyes, think of the difference in her experience based on caregivers understanding her behavior and matching their responses to meet her wants and needs. Next, we have a video. Please watch Michael and try to guess what he is trying to communicate through his behavior.
That's everybody chair. We can share that chair, honey. You big girl, sit right here. Nice, no shouting. Okay, sit down. We're gonna eat. Somebody's gonna cook for us. Oh, what is that? That's a bacon and egg. Okay. Oh, here it goes with that. Irina, sit here with me, Shanta. Erin, you can sit here, okay? You let him sit for today. I know that's your chair. Sit right here. Okay? More coffee, please. Water. Okay, water will be fine. Yes. No, no good food. Oh, okay. She just want to do it. Okay. Right there. All the veggies in there. Yes, you got the corn. Thank you. Huh? I'm gonna eat it. That's nice, nice, Michael. Nice, Michael. Nice, Michael. Okay. He's eating it. He's pretending. I got the corn. Thank you, Leilani. Water. I love it. Milk? Yeah, put some more milk. Raven, I need some fruits here. Get me something. Leilani, she can help you. Let her help you. Okay? That's Miss Shamsa food. Let me finish. That's okay. That's okay, Leila, Ariana. That's okay. Oh, that he did not hit you. No, Ariana. Tell him I don't like that. Don't shout at me. Don't shout and Michael. No. Stop. Michael. Get up. So you gotta say sorry. We do not hit. We do not say nice touch. She's your friend. Say sorry, Ariana. Thank you. Get up.
Our best guess is that Michael is trying to get his teacher's attention. He even gives us cues because he looks right at his teacher, trying to get her attention, before he throws the plates, almost as if he is saying, "Look at me." Does the way the teacher responded match Michael's need for her attention? Did the teacher react to the behavior before trying to understand what it meant? What could she teach Michael to do the next time he wants to get her attention? Now we're going to look at another video example of the importance of behavior having meaning. Watch the video and try to guess what the child in the red shirt is trying to communicate.
Yeah, she's scared because one and the other one's oh. I'm Don't do it, Dad. Yeah, it's black. It's on my shoulder.
So this is a great example of the importance of taking the time to understand a behavior's meaning. If adults don't take the time to pause, they might not notice that they need to plan opportunities to teach children how to join in play and provide opportunities for them to practice those skills. Adults often miss opportunities to help children develop school readiness skills when they don't use information from children's behaviors to meet their needs and wants. Even verbal communication carries an underlying meaning. It is important to pause and observe the entire interaction before determining the meaning and steps to take in response. What are some strategies that you have used with children who are dual language learners? What have you done to better understand the meaning of the child's behavior? Here are some ideas. Talk with families to learn key words and find out how they think their child is doing in terms of behavior and expressing thoughts and ideas. For center-based and family childcare, invite families to visit the program to learn the expectations and help determine what their child understands, the meaning of their behavior, and how to support the child's behavior. Provide interpreters if necessary. Use this time to learn families' routines and expectations for children's behaviors. Together, come up with ways to incorporate these ideas into the learning environment. Invite parents to be part of the daily routines and learning activities. This could help families who are dual language learners engage in the program and learn to promote their children's learning. Learn and observe the child's strengths and interests to integrate into curriculum planning. Make a picture board that goes across the daily schedule at home. Take time during daily routines and activities to carefully observe children's behaviors. Encourage peer interaction to promote language development and learning. These strategies help us to better understand children, give meaning to their behaviors, match our responses to what children are communicating, and understand how we can better support and teach children new skills. We have discussed how important it is to truly believe that behavior has meaning. Pausing to try to figure out the meaning behind a child's behavior instead of just reacting to the behavior can change the way we see a child, the way we respond to a child, and the way we teach a child. Behavior has meaning. Remember to pause and reflect instead of reacting. When we react, we tend to focus on our own experiences, our exhaustion, frustration, anger, rather than the child's experience, whether they're frightened or lonely or trying to communicate. It takes time and effort to understand the intent of a child's communication, but the payoff is worth it. Children feel valued and important. They will learn that we will try to understand what they communicate through their behavior. Children will learn to communicate their intentions, feelings, and emotions in developmentally appropriate ways. Thank you very much for being with me today. I hope each of you have a safe and wonderful holiday season.